How you doing, everybody? This is Solus44. We're playing MC Eternal 2, and today we're going to cover two more things real quick, and I'm going to give you a couple tips for the day, or at least tips for me that I've experienced so that you guys can kind of like maybe benefit with from what I've discovered. First of all, if you go to the Nether and you go into expert mode, weird stuff happens with these creatures. Now, this spawner setup that I have over here is not the same as it was. It spawned lightning blazes. Yeah, lightning blazes. Now, with floors made of wood, normal wood, it would be a terrible thing. But apparently, archwood doesn't burn. But I'll be swapping it out anyway. I don't really like the way it looks that much. Yeah, like I had fires everywhere. I had like lightning going down all over me. So beware of that. Second of all, let's talk about a really cool trick, or at least an interesting way to harvest up your logs. Let's say you don't have it set up so that you have a whirly sprig farm and it's giving you enough logs, or it's just not keeping up, and this is how you're going to do it. If you use the fell spell that you would use to chop down a tree, you can use that on this, and watch this. Harvest it all at once. I completely forgot all about that, so I didn't want to just skim over it. It has not been that long since the last episode, and I'm already looking at two pools that are nearly full, and that pool is nearly full, and that pool is nearly full. So we're doing really, really, really good on mana now. Like we're doing amazing. In fact, that's not keeping up. So if you're having a problem with keeping up, your spreaders are probably going to be your bottleneck, right? Like that's just those lenses. This one right here is closer than this one, and you notice it's almost halfway full, whereas this one's not even that close. And that has lenses I just put on there. That's a compound lens of velocity, efficiency, and potency. So hopefully this catches up a little bit because we want to get these to about halfway. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine if they're under halfway because they have the spark on them, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. Sorry. So remember, lenses are important, but we're going to get to the next level of spreaders anyway. And I wanted to make sure that I like showed you guys how to do that without me just doing it and then saying, okay, this is how you do it. Once you have your archway set up, you've got to turn it on. In order to turn it on, you're gonna have to right click it with the wand of the forest. But you want to wait until your pool is at a sufficient level for you to turn it on, or it'll fail and you'll lose some of the mana, I think. Kind of like if you interrupt a terra steel. If you go to put the items down to make terra steel and it gets interrupted by an explosion or something like that, both the items and the mana that's been used is gone forever. So just make sure that you have enough before you do some things. Wow, that is pushing out the mana. Really heavy. I got my little... What do you think? It's kind of like a mantis? I don't know. Some of you guys are so observant, it's ridiculous, so don't make fun of my art. I'm just kidding. You can make fun of it all you want. I don't care. All right, so I added some more relays into the source relay system just to kind of like make sure that I'm getting the source that I need. Because I added another ritual. This ritual is running a tablet of Sanctuary. And if you look on the bottom, you'll see that it says rotten flesh times 128. So you throw 2 stacks of rotten flesh on top of there, wait till it fills up, and then right click it to turn it on. And every time that it stops a spawn from taking place, it'll use up some source. Now, I guess it's kind of a cool way to tell, but the range on it says according to the tooltip that it's 128 radius from the location. That should cover me pretty much most of this whole base with this one ritual. Now, I'm not too sure though if it stops the spawns from taking place from spawners. So I'm going to test that out right now by getting close to this. I hear a blaze. There's a blaze in there. I think it does. Nope. Oh, see, look. I'm, 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 I'm mortified. That's terrible. It killed all my spiders too. So we're gonna. I guess the lightning blazes spawn really far out. So I guess make it in a safer spot than I did. At least we know that the protection isn't gonna do anything. I repaired the walls again, and I got rid of the flowing water. I don't know what caused those walls to go bad, but I did kill off those plants that were on that side because they were just getting on my nerves. Because we're gonna have better bodyguards anyway. We're gonna make a brood mother today. So today's gonna be Goety while we're waiting for those mana pools to fill up. All right, so if you open up the black book, go into your little guides here. It's underneath mutations, and you'll see your different versions of creatures. And it talks about the broodmother, and it says type, animation, ritual, required entity, spider, and then you got to have all these items. Now I don't know if I've got all of them or not. I might. Let's take a look. I have one fang. Oh my god, that's not a lot. I gotta be really careful. I don't have any jade though. I used it up. Oh wait, or is it the occult fabric? No, I think it's the occult fabric. Animation ritual. There it is. So what about Savage Tooth? Do I have a Savage Tooth? I have Savage Tooth. And then what was the last one? Ectoplasm and Lapis. Okay. I'm good on Ectoplasm. I'll be okay for Lapis. Thank you to the bees, which do randomly mutate for some reason still. All right, so in order for this to work, we're going to have a spider. And all of my spiders got murderized. So let's go get some meat. All my meat is being used in the cooking section here. We'll just grab a stack. This means I need to put my cow and chicken and all that stuff in that system and make sure that I've got it all running. That burns up a lot. So, all right. Let's go ahead and start setting this up. Now, we already have the animation ritual set up. I do want to move these. Where's my pick? Right there. I mean, it's kind of okay. Everything works where it's at, but all right. So that meets the requirements for the animation ritual. We got the skeleton tool. We got the ladders. We got plenty of the stuff that we need. Now, you can control these individually. You can left click him. He's now following me. And yes, you could probably, I think you can put a collar on them and you can tag them. So you could just make yourself an army of spiders. They're pretty weak, but all right. He is now within the range of the ritual. So let's go ahead and get the ritual going. He's about to get an upgrade. Don't even know it. Did you just climb a wall for no reason? And what's the activation? Oh, the tooth is the activation one. All right, so if there's a spider within the area and you've got enough energy, I got 9,000, so I know I've got enough. It's 50. There you go. Now you have a broodmother, and then she has the same ability, like she's set for follow now. What's really cool is you can take the broodmother and you can climb walls. And she can jump a little. That was a good jump. So to jump, you just hit the space button like you're going to jump and hold it down until that bar gets to the top. Like those are perfect jumps. And you want it to be in the red. That's your highest jump. And then she's controlled the same way. No, you don't want her on wandering. No, no, no. No, don't wander. I put her on guarding. And just put her up here. Now she should be able to climb the walls, no problems. Well, let's put her on following. Have her come over here. Now they will teleport a short distance to you. And guarding there. The reason why I don't always put them on guarding is sometimes they'll just like follow a creature out to the ocean or their field of view is pretty good. She should be able to take care of some of those creatures there. Now she's not going to be able to take on those lightning blazes, so I'm going to have an issue with that. I'm going to have to turn that spawner off and figure out another deal. All right, cool. That covers that. So now you guys know how to make the broodmother. There's also a lot of other summons that you can do. You can do the drowned, but you have to have the deep setup. A hoglin, which is in the nether. And now illagers, the problem with them is you got to have a villager nearby, and you got to have this rampaging axe, and it doesn't tell you how to make it. It says shift click for recipe. Let's try it. Well, I just got proven wrong. So the forge, which is downstairs. I think this is any soul sand can make you this rampaging axe, which is pretty strong axe for a really earlier game stuff. I don't know, it's not earlier game. So you gotta have a concentrated emerald lapis block, then you get this. You'll turn an illager into a neo illager, and then I guess you can then if you set up training grounds like this ominous pyre, and then you have to have a whole bunch of items to get them. Depending on what you train, you can change them into a pillager servant, a vindicator servant, vindicator chef servant, pressure servants. I mean, there's evoker, geomancy, all those different types will upgrade them. So basically, as a neolager, like this whole entire mod is based on the lore behind illagers, where they get their powers and stuff. And that's why sometimes you'll see a evoker running around with an actual totem of undying, and that kind of is weird. But yeah, if you kill them, they'll use it up. So it's kind of cool. I like it. All right, so are we ready to start this so we can get our next level? I don't know. We've got way more than a half here. We've got a little over a quarter here. Anytime you put a spreader next to a pool, it stays full, so that's full. So yeah, let's turn this on and see if this works. Hopefully it does. Hey! Look at that. That didn't even take up that much to start it up. We're good to go. We got it. I'm going to stay away from the mantis for a little while, just so that I can kind of like talk without that sound. There's no sound muffler that I know of in this pack, and that's kind of unfortunate. I really wish that they would add that in there, but I guess there's some issues with it. I don't know. All right, so with that said, now we have access to, well, actually, a lot of stuff. Tier 3 or tier 2.5, however you want to say it, worth of items. Let's see. Let's fill this tablet up. first of all, so that way we can use up a bunch of this. No, wait, let's not fill that tablet up. We want to use that item. All right. Where's my Botania book? Is this the only Botania book I got? I wonder if it'll destroy the book if I do this. I don't know what's going to happen. So you take your Botania book and you throw it in here. Hey, there we go. And now we have access to the next level of Botania, which unlocks a whole lot of lore and different things that are really not all that important, to be honest with you. The big ones are the Ritual of Gaia and these relics, which they're not going to unlock until you start killing Gaia, the Gaia Guardian. And we'll have to get into that at some point. But in order to do that, you've got to have Manyelium in this pack. They changed the recipe to make it Manyelium as your 2 items that you need to make 1 Gaia pylon. You need 4 of those in order for you to start the whole process. So we're not going to be able to do that until we can get into the Nether and we can get some Cobalt. And we're going to need a lot of Cobalt to really get going. I'm not going to say a lot, but I mean at least a stack, let's say, to do all the stuff we want to do. You can get your ritual. There it is. It shows you how to set it up. You also have to have a beacon. I think we have a beacon that I got from the Queen Bee. Didn't I? Did I get that beacon? I have a beacon that I got from the bee. So that's a from the queen over there. So that's huge. That's super big. I didn't realize that that's cool. That's gonna let us bypass a little bit of stuff. That was accidental. All right, so you can get into the lore and read about it. Tells you about the Bifrost and all this other stuff. And the idea is that this is a portal to Alfheim, and Alfheim is a whole different dimension. But since you can't, in this mod pack, you can't go through the portal and go into it. But what you can do is trade items through it. And so we could set up an automatic system if we wanted to. I'm not really in that need of it. So let's go ahead and do Elementium, which I believe is just, we're going to throw 2 in here. And you get 1 element. You get 1 Elementium back for every 2 mana steel that you throw in there. And it uses up a little bit of that mana that's in those mana pools. So that's why it's really important to make sure that you've got enough in there, because once this turns off, you have to pay the reactivation fee. Right? So we're just going to do this. There. So it acts just like, and now you'll look a little bit less. That one's already creeping back up again. That's crazy. I really like that. All right, so anyway, now that we've got Elementium, we can look at what other items we can get, and that is, let's see, we want to get, I think it's 1 diamond for 1 dragonstone. Yep. So it's only 1 dragonstone per mana diamond, so that's not bad. And with that dragonstone, you're going to now have access to some other stuff, but really what you got to get is this Elven Mana Spreader so we can start getting our mana to move around a lot faster and more efficiently. All that takes is some living wood. And at the beginning of the video, I showed you guys that chopping spell, so we should be able to take some living wood. And I have some now. I actually added another log over to this system over here of Whirly Sprig. And what it does is, if the more you have of a single item, the more you're going to get of it. That's why I got so much strip log. I didn't realize I made this a little too close. And yeah, but I don't have that many Whirly Sprigs. I only got a couple. I think I had more at one point. I probably have one inside the system or it's floated downward. I don't know. I'm not too worried. So let's get some of this. All right, now we have 32. And then again, I was checking to see if you can get shroom lights from the Whirly Sprig, and it doesn't work. So that's a bummer. And we'll just add 2 to that as well. Worst comes to worst, we get more than we need, and then whatever. All right, so spreaders. They take an elementium, a petal of any kind, and then some logs. We're going to go ahead and just throw those inside the system there real quick. And we're going to make 4 total right now. And I'm going to swap out these weak ones. Now, if you have a lens that you want back, just right click on it with an empty hand and it'll pull it off. The problem with it is I'm going to lose the source. That's the mana that's in this thing, but I don't really care. We're making a lot of mana, like a lot of mana quickly. Not as fast as the Entrepinium, which is a bomb system done with TNT. Oh, that's not good. We want this to go from here to there. And then we're going to use the lens just like before. Basically, all those spreaders do now is they just have a bigger bucket. Let's just say that. They got a bigger bucket. They can hold more, they output more. So there's input, output more. We just increase the throughput of mana moving around. And then we're going to do the same thing for these two. All right. What the heck? Oh, wow. We're full on pork or beef. That's fine. We're just going to... As far as I know, there isn't a way to break them and, like, get your stuff back. So, unfortunately... We're just going to place this right here, and this one right here. Make sure that this one is connected, and then there. Now, it doesn't have to be set up like this. You guys can figure out your own configuration, okay? This is just the easiest way for me. I'm lazy, I know. There's probably like a better way to like use a splitter with some mana bellows, which speed up the transfer of things from one place to another. But you can see how just a little bit of extra distance between the mana spreader and the item that it's going to increases drastically, either one. How long it takes to fill one of these mana pools up. Yeah, so I mean, I think you could probably put these mana pools together, close together, or closer together, and then put a mana splitter, and that would be probably a little bit more efficient. But like I said, I'm not really going for super efficiency, and I like the way this looks. It's just a more classic style setup, I guess, for me. So yeah, we're running good now. Like that is it. So let's go ahead and get the next thing. Pixie dust, I think, is what it is. At Botania. Let's see, we're gonna need this and this. And we should start seeing Dreamwood logs showing up from the Whirly Sprig farm any day now. We'll check on that in a second. We're at 6. I'm 100% sure I did that on the server already was problem. All right. I can't remember what the other thing was we were going to do with this setup. We can do a automatic ritual to switch things today with Goety as well. The Teru. This guy right here, I believe if you give him the right items, he can make it so that it never rains. But I want to make it so that I can make it storm when I want and not storm when I want, etc. And I want to be able to get to the mana enchanter, I think. Maybe. I don't know. All right, so pixie dust is just pearl in and dust out. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't really know if I need a lot of any of those items at the moment. Let's see what we can make. I thought I had a Rod of the Skies in this pack, did I not? Did I not make a Rod of the Skies? I did not. Yes, I did. There it is. I showed this once, and I want to make sure you guys can see this. Now that I have this mana mirror, and it's down lower because I used it to make a whole bunch of mana steel and a bunch of other stuff. But as it fills up, it reflects what's inside the mana pool that it's linked to. And it looks like we're going to be linked to a different pool because I'm not going to use as much of this as I might have to or whatever. So why don't we link it to this one? And now you'll notice you'll be able to tell that now I have a full mana pool. And the reason why I want that is I wanted to show you guys this really cool deal. And I think I showed it before, but I wanted to go over it real quick. If you can get a hold of these angel wings, look at it. It says level 1. And let's go to the table to see if I can upgrade this thing. Where did I put that? Did I put that in here? For the love of me, I cannot remember where I put stuff on here. I get too many things going. No, that's the alteration table. Where did I put the spell table? Any creature that's summoned with a focus from Goety, if there's a focus for a lot of summons, right? There's a bear, there's polar bears, there's wolves, there's all kinds of stuff, right? All of the ones done with Goety's wand are temporary, they fade out. After a while, they'll just kind of like disappear. But every single one that's done through a ritual type, oh, I forgot to put those back. Oops. They are permanent till they die. And I'm pretty sure you can put a collar on them and give them extra hit points and all kinds of special effects. So I might do that with her. For there and there. That's going to let them keep up with the rate of flow because I think we were looking at. Oh, yeah. Much better. Much better. Much better rate of flow. We're actually going to be overflowing mana right now. It's going to be a thing where this one's probably the last one to fill up. Yeah. Where did I put that doggone magic table? Did I just put it away? At irons. What did I do with it? I put everything up a while ago. I must have put it inside of a chest. Oh no. What is that? Oh, all my traders. In order for the traders, in order for their trades to reset, you need to have their workstation nearby, I think. Because I ran into that problem with someone else on the server. One of the guys wasn't resetting, and we just put his workstation down and it started working. Oh, I know. I put it in the slime island. Let's go to the slime island. We are going to take, and we are going to make this my next area of work. Since I have my nether portal here, I don't need to use the nether portal anymore. All I have to do now is set up my nexus and use the nexus to get in there. Well, I got a lot of scrolls. Yeah, lots of scrolls. Or my waystone, I can do all kinds of stuff. So that way I don't have to go through the portal anymore. It's just a thing. All right, so let me see if I can get this spell upgraded. So it's epic. So I need epic ink. Do I have any epic ink? I have epic ink. Do I have more epic ink? Look at that. It's not stacking, so. Now, how about legendary? Do I have any legendary? Do I have where's my anvil? Fine, I'll just make one. I thought I had an anvil. I must have put it up. I don't know. I'll have another one. There, now I got another one. So I can take this ascension spell out. Yeah. Put it in here. Can I level it up? All right, cool. So that's going to take it to level 2. So it goes from 30 seconds now to 60 seconds to a minute and 1.5 minutes, minute and a half. All right, well, I think to get it to the next level to legendary, I need legendary ink, and I don't have any legendary ink, unfortunately. But now I've got a minute worth of, basically, it's an elytra. And this, Rod of the Skies, is an infinite, like I don't have flight now, right? Like I can't fly. I can jump high because I'm on slime grass, right? Slime grass. But if I use this spell, I can actually, when I cast it, I now have an elytra, and this, Rod of the Skies, whoa, they actually spawned. Guess where I need to get some source going? This is now a rocket that never runs out. You have to wait for the to recharge, but I'm never out of flight like for a minute and a half. We're able to go far. So it's just like if you had a real elytra. Look at you. Are you trying to actually hurt me? How cute. It's too bad they're sky slimes, because if they were regular slimes, oh, he did try to hurt me. Oh, gross. Get off me. All right. No. That's the first time I've had them spawn. I waited forever for these guys to spawn before. They would not show up. Now they're here. That's weird. Anyhow, we're going to use those mana spreaders later. We're going to take a look and see what other stuff we can build. I just wanted to show you guys that if you make a Route of the Skies, you can use that as an infinite rocket. So now I don't even need rockets anymore. And it's going to use the mana from the mana mirror, which is actually linked to that mana pool. So as long as that mana pool has mana in it, I can keep using that indefinitely. Now, it also comes in a great in a pinch. If you like, you're stuck in a hole and you can't get out and you don't have flight, it'll just shoot you straight up in the air. I think it shoots you pretty far. Like I don't have that spell right now, right? That's far. So watch out if you don't have any. I think it stops you from taking fall damage. Oh, look at that! A balloon actually spawned too. Wow, being inside expert mode is kind of pretty nice. Yeah, this is going to be my new area when I come back. One of the next videos I'm going to go through. You might see this start turning into something more of an actual island of stuff. Like there might be things here to do. Because I really need to start moving some of my stuff around. And I also have a really cool idea. I think you can shoot mana and source through warp portals. Yeah. And I want to find out if that's true. I'm going to do that off camera because that's an experiment. What the heck? Oh, look at you. Hey, buddy. He actually found me. Look at that. I don't need it, but cool. So I think you can do all kinds of cool stuff with that. And if that's true, that you can shoot the items through the portals, because items can get thrown through the portals. I do know that. Items can get thrown. But if Source can go flying through portals to do things, that's going to be a huge, huge thing. And if I can get mana from Botania to go through portals, I mean, that's another whole thing. Like, I could start using it to link the bases together and not have to break things and stuff, and it will stop me from having to do all kinds of tear it down, rebuild it kind of stuff. That makes sense, guys? I hope that helps. How are we doing on time? I know that was a lot of stuff real fast. If you have any questions on Botania, let me know. I'm going to be 100% going through way more of it. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get some quests done. Look at these. These just showed up. And then that showed up. And if you don't know how to recycle these, I can show you how to recycle any of the items except for ones that come with add-ons. If you put an add-on, he got me a piece of string. if you have add-ons that you've put onto these items, I mean, who knows? You might want to use this thing. I don't use any of them. You can shoot liquid out of them. I guess if you wanted to use blazing blood, you could use that, fill it up with that, and then shoot it. But I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow, let's go ahead and open up our chests. On the server with Sproblin, I have this big, gigantic pile of these. And each one of these, yep, each one of them tends to come with either an ingot or at least some of the items from the Aquaculture 2. I have been very lucky on this, like I was saying with the server, because eventually what will happen is these guys will fish you out the eye of the sea that you need for the end portal. I'm just saying, so get it set up. I would definitely get it set up. I don't know if Thermal can do it with Thermal's fishing system or not, but 100% I know for a fact that these guys can do it. And I just have double chests that are upgraded on the server, and they're just like completely full. All right. So in the quest book, let's go ahead and complete. We have already completed these. What does it want here? Tropical fish. We need 32 tropical. So in order for these to get completed, you just have to have 32 of any kind. The hard ones are going to be these ones. A quartz fish. I've never even heard of that. And then you can unlock some more secret stuff too. I bet you there's even more. Oh, and then if you want, every day you can come in here and you can just submit 32 any fish after every 3 hours, and you can get yourself a quest loot chest and a Neptunium deal. So basically every day you can get yourself, and look, I mean, I got plenty of nuggets. I got all the, you can melt those down and get yourself Neptunium, make yourself a better set of armor with it. I mean, these swords aren't awesome or anything, but underwater, they're definitely going to be useful, right? So that's a thing. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to complete one of the quests with that right there. Let's see. There's some ink. No. There's quest complete. Smallmouth bass. Quest complete. Jellyfish. Some of these jellyfish have really cool stuff too. You can turn them into different items, and you can get grease and stuff. All right, I got 28 Neptunium. That's pretty good. This one. There we go. I think I got the minnow already. Nope. There we go. We got the minnow. I need 2 more gar. About brown trout. Already did brown trout. And I know I did carp. Nope, I didn't do carp either. I said I know I did it, and I didn't do it. I think that's all of them that are above 32 right now. So let's go ahead and open those. And you get little nuggets of Neptunium each time. And the knife made of Neptunium is still unbreakable, so you could definitely use that and get yourself all the really cool items that are made with the knife on the cutting board. And you can automate it with a player, which will right-click for you. All right, look at that. We got 7 quest loot chests to open. So let's go for it. Soup. Essence. A Mars globe. Seriously. A didgeridoo. Vine lasso. Water engine. Look at that. I didn't even have to make it. That's cool. With the water engine, I can use, I think I can make, it's an upgrade for, like, I don't think it works on the gyrocopter, but for like the biplane and stuff. And now that we have access to the nether, I'm not going to make this. Problem made a really cool infinite lava system from Create. by putting buckets all spread out of lava, like a huge, big old square of lava, and it's just flat with flowing lava underneath. And you let it fill all the way up, like with flowing lava. The top layer has to be certain size. I'll show it to you guys when I do that video. Um, and then you just put a pump in it, just like I did with the water over there for the concrete maker or for the concrete machine. And it just infinite lava from then on. So we have lava infinitely, we have blaze infinitely, we have all kinds of stuff. That guy went all out with Ars Nouveau and Create by far. So let's go ahead and put away. Well, he just jumped in the water. Oh, we were going to get credit for our daily. Wait, what else did we get credit for? Oh, Botania. All right. There's another quest. Okay. And then we are going to do fishing again. Where is it? Fishing. Let's do our daily. We just hit submit. That'll work. And then after 3 hours, you can come back and do it again. What are we going to get? A fishing cloak. How ironic. And a music disc. Oop. I keep on hitting the wrong button. Sorry. What does this do? Immersive melodies? What we got? Ha 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 ha. Knight Rider. That is awesome. All right. I'm still not sure. Do I have? I think I have the Mars one. Yeah, Mars. Yeah, there's Mars. We'll just put it away. The lasso I want to try. I don't know what it does. I think I can grab up. Might be able to grab up enemies and stuff. I don't know. We'll keep the vegetable soup just in case. Oh yeah, I told you I was going to show you how to recycle the swashers. You're going to get swashers like a lot, like a lot. It's just going to take some time, and you can probably have, who knows, 10, 15 rats going. All right, so the Nexus right now, I have access to the Nether portal. Will teleport me straight over to the other side. Well, anywhere you put a scroll, you shift right click the scroll and then put it inside of the Nexus, a warp Nexus. That becomes an instant teleportation spot. Getting back is another story. So just make yourself some more scrolls for your home base. It requires Source, I think, to use the Nexus. But I haven't had any issues with it. It worked just fine before. How are we doing over there? Okay, let's recycle the swasher, and then I think that's going to be good for today's video. And I gotta increase the source production over here. We're sitting at 0% on one of these two. I was getting a lot more. All right, so to recycle these, just come over to your builder's table. Make sure you got patterns in here. Throw it in it, and then choose which one you want to get back. So we're going to get our refined glowstone, and sometimes you'll get an extra. So we got steel and refined glowstone. And then what I do on the servers, I just keep on putting them into the chest until I have the foundry. Once I have the foundry set up and I fill it full of blazing blood, I'll be able to get an absolute ton of different materials that normally you wouldn't be able to get, like refined glowstone, for instance. The real fun one is to get yourself a bunch of cobalt. I just got enough cobalt on the server with Sprawlin, and so I'm going to be making the foundry controller without actually on the server. He has not helped me get through any of the battles at all. I even killed the Chimera without him. But he's going to help me. We're going to do the final gate because I'm gonna have him do it with me. I'm just going to do it right in front of him. He's just going to be like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "We're fighting." He's been really busy with work, so he hasn't had time to do a lot of that stuff. So yeah, that's how you recycle those. You get your parts, store them up, however you want to do it. And I think I'm gonna build the kitchen in the create area. And in order to make a kitchen, you gotta have um, you have to have a cookbook, right? Cookbook there, cookbook, which is just basically a cooked book. Get it? Cookbook. And then you cook it again, and you get this cooking. What the heck? No filter edition shows all recipes. Oh, I'm doing that right now because I want to set up a kitchen. If y'all are waiting for me to like just go into the nether and get murdered, you're gonna get a chance. Don't worry. I need a regular furnace. There's my regular furnace. Okay. Let's grab ourselves a book. Look it up. I haven't put any augments in almost any of my stuff yet either, so I haven't upgraded in it because this is all going to get tore down. Now that I know how to make an infinite lava setup with this blaze deal, like it's always going to stay full of lava. I could do it with blaze that way, or I could do it with blaze the what do you call it? The Stirling generator. I don't know which is more efficient. Let me know if you guys know which is better. Or what do you think is better? I'm gonna have to do some math, I think, because you gotta remember, in order for you to get the lava, you still have to squish it down, and it's gonna take energy to squish it down. So you're gonna have to squish it down, turn it into lava, and then send it over here to the magmatic dynamo, which then turns it into energy. And then you can just take and pump that into this energy acceptor when you if you don't have enough energy to your system. I'm gonna make a building with nothing but a ton of energy being created, and then I can transport that energy via flux networks and other ways. There's supposed to be other ways of doing it. I thought I lit all these up, so there should have been plenty of light in here. Huh? This okay. All right, I think we're doing pretty good, guys. I'm gonna head out. I gotta go take a break, and then I'll come back and I'll make another video for the next day. Thanks for stopping by. If you know, you know. Love you, miss you. Take care. Bye bye.